Let's see who the first one is in here. Wow. They're taking their time with these notifications tonight, huh? I see there's 2 of you in here though. What's cracking with everybody? We got 2 shy ones watching from afar. What's up, Mob Nasty? How you doing, big dog? I guess it's just me and you today. Likewise, big dog. Well, this is strange. This is awkward. What's this? Oh shit! Hey, Count. What's up, big dog? How you doing? Today, I think I'm gonna rename this to the Shy Live. We got 9 people watching, and we only have 2 people commenting. How was your guys' day today? I see Cheeks. Cheeks said she finally went inside, big dog. You weren't coming out. It was like a hostage standoff, eh? I know I can never see the likes when I'm live. Damn, this might be a quick one. To a Dave. What's cracking, to a Dave? It was hot as hell. Damn it. So, something I was thinking about doing, but I don't know. I was gonna ask Gunner if he wanted to do it too, but I haven't been able to talk to him for a few hours today. He's doing something. That trial started. I guess today was what, day 2 of the trial, and that guy that they're trying to say took out Charlie Kirk. So I was thinking of maybe covering the case, doing a live stream, because it's live, and I was like, man, no, should I react to it live? But damn, that's like, they say tomorrow's a half day, but that's still like what, 4 hours of a live stream. I don't know if I could do it, and I definitely have to do it with somebody else. What's up, Alvaro? Hey, Mob, do you have Call of Duty, the one we play, or you don't have that? Because I was I know Alvaro will probably maybe get in. I was telling Rice today, OS3 Security. What's up, big dog? How you doing? I was telling Rice today what we should do, because we have enough people that'll want to get involved. We should do a free for all, not a free for all, a private match of Warzone. Hey, JTB, I don't think it's him. I don't think he had it. I don't think he did anything. Hey, what's up, Orlando? How you doing? So you watched it? And that's the map we'll probably play on too. Nah, you wouldn't be the first. I don't know. Kamai doesn't play anymore. I don't know if you heard me, Kamai, but I was telling Rise that him and Wolf need to get their followers involved, and we play a private match of Warzone. I know we can get at least 30 something people, so we can actually do it. I think it'd be fun. GTV, that's fucked up. He said, Mob, you haven't met Ryan yet. Hey, Ryan thinks everybody's cheating, huh? You be back for the upcoming one? Okay. Sebastian said he would win the Warzone match. I think it would be between Ryzen and Wolf. Unless people stream snipe them, you know, which that would be messed up if somebody stream snipes them. But oh my god, what did I just find? Yeah, if people were to stream snipe them, that would be kind of messed up. Yeah, I don't think you met him either. I mean, he's always in the chat in Rise's chat, Mom. Yeah. He says everybody's cheating. Hey, Kamai, I'm surprised you didn't get on this one, at least now that they have the gun game, the team's gun game. That shit is fun, man. It's hard. We've won it a few times already, though. It's Modelo time. I only have 2 of them, so yeah, he's a good guy, but not good at COD. Rise got really fucking good at Call of Duty. That's why we don't run as a team anymore, because he feels like he can take on a whole squad by himself. You weren't feeling Black Ops? But yeah, I am going to run it by Gunner, but I already know Gunner's going to say, hell no, we're not going to cover that. Luckily, Ryan doesn't watch my YouTube channel, or else he'd be like, what? 1v1 me. What's happening, Glassy Eyes? How you doing, Sister Craft? I can barely keep up with him. I don't know how he reacts that fast while moving as fast. I know. I watch him. You know what he got good at, though, was the grapples. When they first come out, he would never pick them up. And I used to tell him, look, Holmes, when you figure out how to use them, you're going to love them. Tonight, I'm going to try to get him to use that laser gun again. That shit was funny hearing him complain. What's up, Trusty? How you doing? We got 39 in the building. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. Classy eyes. Hugh, what's up, Hugh? Tapping in. Benji said, tell Gunner, don't even respond to the Donut Guys video. I didn't watch. I won't give him a view. I only get notifications because I watch you guys. Yeah, I don't think he has. I don't think that guy. I know he doesn't pop up on my feed. None of my haters do. And I think Gunner has it blocked too, so he wouldn't even know. I don't know if he did a video about him or me, but I believe in the last few months he's done about 100. So I wouldn't be surprised. What's up, Marcellus? Marcellus Wallace. Mob Nasty said, hit the like button, por favor. Yeah, I'm going to get on the game after this live. Her game is Sonic Generations. That's a game? Is that what the Hedgehog guy? No one gives a fuck. What do your boys, what? No one gives a fuck what your boys doing, but the same handful of miserable ass losers that love God. No shit. Exactly. Just hit the 3 buttons on the right and click not interested. That's what I do. Excuse me. Oh, it's a new video. You just saw the title? Oh, okay. Yeah, I won't even bring it up to Gunner. No one gives a fuck what Donut Boy's doing. Really? No, I mean, I don't. You know what's messed up though is I saw his other channel a while back with him and his family and you know what they were doing. I like that channel. But the one that became the Gunner and Dubs channel, I don't care for it because he speaks from a place of straight bullshit. Um, his credibility, he has destroyed his credibility with a lot of the things he says about me. And then you see he did a video where he intentionally tried to make it seem like Renee Enriquez was saying something about me. Renee Enriquez said nothing bad about me, but he tried to make it seem otherwise. It's weird. Um, but it is what it is. The one where he tries to pretend he's a victim because he got deported. Yeah, that one. P-Town. I only have 2. P-Town, I had 2 left over from last night. The Black Ops 1 and 2 ports are coming soon. But I think they're going to change it up, at least the movement. I think they're going to have the modern movement, right? Oh, no, it's definitely not enough to get faded, but, you know, I'm enjoying them. Just got here. Hello. Any stories from the Rodney King? Diamond's beautiful. She's already, did I wake up hungover? No. Diamond is, check this out. Diamond is already almost 20 pounds. The Rodney King verdict. So when the Rodney King verdict came out, I was in YA. And I remember, check this out. We had, you know, they have different sports and you play against the other units, right? And at the time we were playing floor hockey. They would take us to the basketball gym and we play floor hockey, right? And I remember we were coming out, the hockey team. Everybody was in the dorm on their bunks. And we were coming out and the TV was on in the day room. And there was this tall black dude, man. He was cool as fuck, man. His name was Snoop. He was from damn, what neighborhood was he from? The Pueblos. Yeah, he was from the Pueblos. And we're walking out and he looks at the TV and he goes, man, that's right there by my hood. And we're like, yeah, right. And then he stopped and I remember he was tall as fuck and he had his hand on the TV. The TV's up high and he had his hand on the TV and he's looking at it. And that's when, if you remember, when it was going to kick off and all those people were right there and that one cop car reversed fast out of there. That's what we watched that. And then we're like, the cop was like, come on, let's go. We left, we went, played our game. We came back and South Central was on fire when we came back. So I was busted during all that. I know in YTS, they cleared out I think it was one whole building. I don't remember. I think it was, I don't know which building it was, but there's 3 buildings in YTS. And those 3 buildings have a bunch of different units, right? They cleared out one unit and they brought a gang of juveniles from LA County and they housed them in YTS. They couldn't come out with us or nothing like that. Obviously, we're all adults. That was, YTS is an adult YA, right? And people left like notes in their cell, like, hey, look, this is our pad. Cause you know, dudes had life. You know, they were still finishing their juvenile life sentences in there. So they left notes and they're like, hey, Holmes, like, can you do us a favor and respect the pad? Man, Holmes, they put them juveniles in there. They carved in the walls, fucking wrote neighborhoods all over the walls. During trade line, when people be walking the track, they were yelling at people, disrespecting them. So those are the stories I have about that. Oh, it's the same game with the same movement? I don't think a lot of people are going to like it. James, what's up, James? What up, Dubs? Just one of your day oneers here chilling. Hope all is well. I'm blessed, homie. Hope everything's good with you. RH, what up? What up? What up? I'm talking and I have my phone on and it's on YouTube and Poetic Flacco is acting like I can't hear what he's saying. Man, that guy, he came up though, man. He built himself a hell of a following. I've heard some buck knife stuff elsewhere. What about that video I did today, guys? That guy that killed that 72-year-old woman, and then the daughter forgave him, and for decades wrote to him and went and visited him when and helped him get out of prison. She got him a job, let him move into the house where he had killed her mother, and then he stole money from her. And when she confronted him, he killed her. Wow. Frederick Jala is my real name. Shout out to Point and Shoot. Point and Shoot is hilarious. He did. He said after 16 and made his own lane, and he's way more successful than No Jumper. I want to see where Poetic Flacco is in a couple years. Weird, right? Mob Nasty? Yeah, Kamai. Weird. Oh, a 3-week old? Yeah, he's gonna have some problems in jail. Yeah, trust you. I did the video today. It happened in Arkansas. And what I didn't know until after the fact was after he took the life of the daughter, Martha, when he was running from the cops, he drowned. Wow. What's up, Sonny? Tough. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Anyone hurts my mom, I'm raining down hell on their whole world. Yeah. Yeah. Rodrigo, I don't get it, Dubs. That dude was a gang member. I thought he would have some of those morals. You know, some gangs, like California gangs, have different, they work different. Like in Chicago, they'll hit kids. Like Chicago moves very, very different than California. Do I think anyone in Florida will be fooled by the hardcore wood look Wes has? Absolutely not. They're going to test him, and they're going to test him often. And you know, watching him in that video when they jumped on that dude, Wes can't fight. Wes don't know how to fight. Kamai said the gangs of today have no morals. Sunny Boy said Canton love. Yeah, Chicago is Chicago reminds me of where LA was in the 80s. LA had so many homicides in the 80s every year. It was ridiculous the number they were having out there. And Chicago is, to me, it reminds me of that. It's Juan right here. He's from Chicago. Shout out to the 59 we have in the building. Thank you guys for being here. Marcellus says yes, because gangs are known for their morals. Actually, there are certain things that most gangs, at least in California, try to stick to. And that's not targeting women, children, and the elderly. But like I tell people, they might not be the primary victim, but gang members do victimize women, children, and the elderly, because when somebody's life is taken, sometimes they have a baby sister or a daughter or a son. They definitely have a mother. They have grandparents, you know, so Those are secondary victims. You know, it happens every time. Thank you, Reno. I appreciate that. Christopher says the World Cup is rigged. You know, everybody says every sport is rigged now. That's what's crazy. Daryl Hall, thank you. I got you. So today, don't forget, whoever donated last night, I still have your name written down here. The video that I did today with that guy killing the mother and then the daughter, I didn't want to put the shout outs in that video. I felt like the topic was too heavy. But so I'm gonna add your name, Daryl Hall, and you guys will get your shout out. Sonny said I'm delayed. So what you got to do is you got to tap your screen, and when you see the little red line and with the red dot, move that dot all the way to the right. OX Security says, Dubs, you see Clavicular has no game in Europe. He got turned down. He has no game, period. The thing that he has is he has groupies, people that see him on their screen and they think he's a star somehow, and they just are attracted to the star. But happily, gladly, Europeans aren't falling for it. That has to hurt his heart. Chicago Hispanic gangs from black gangs are still different. Oh, okay. Louis says you can also click the live button and it'll skip to the live. There you go. Michael says, I definitely feel for all the moms that lose their sons. Absolutely. No, well, that's the same out here, Juan. In California, the Mexican gangs have some different rules than black gangs, but even for the blacks, for the most part out here, they don't target women, children, or the elderly. It happens, you know. When the war broke out, you know, between the blacks and Mexicans in Southern California, there were a lot of people who weren't gang members that got taken out. I only have 2 beers tonight, and I'm almost done with this one. I'm babysitting because I only have 2. Damn. Oh, and Hannibal says Hispanic gangs in Chicago are not different from black gangs. Okay. So we have, I know Juan's from Chicago. Hannibal, are you from Chicago? Dubs needs a 12-pack. Chinga. No, that's my new dog, M Star. She's right here. Where's she at? She's right here. She sleeps at my feet. Whenever I jump on the lives or whatever, she's right here on my feet. She's getting big fast, man. Pop out the bottle. That bottle's empty. You know, there was a point where I wanted to get a tequila collection, but then I was like, man, that's kind of like, that's just a waste of money and lightweight. Just what, to floss? I'm not gonna do that. Benji says I drank a 24-pack of Bud Light with my dinner. That's all. A Bud Lights can light you up though. I don't like them. I don't like the way Budweiser tastes. No matter what was I drinking? When? Right now, I got just a couple Modelos. Oh, the tequila was. Oh, so Lali sent us a bottle for Gunner's birthday. The Mayan, I think it was called. I can collect the empty bottles. Jeez. You don't drink at all anymore? That's good. That's good. I gotta stop drinking. I only drink like 2 or 3 times a week, but when I do, I really, really drink. And my panza's starting to show. My panza is the giveaway. Juan says he must be from the new school. Hispanic and black gangs in Chicago always had a different structure. Tears of Llorona, that shit was strong, man. Well, I told the story. I was at a bar and switched to ganja. Hell nah. I can't smoke weed. Not anymore. I was at a bar and this dude, you could tell he had money. And so he was like, I want to buy these guys a shot, right? So bam, he got me, my primo, a couple of the people we were with. He got us shots, and then somebody was like, "Hey, fool, you know how expensive those shots are?" I was like, "How much?" And they were like, "Those are $40 a shot." And he bought like 6, 7, 8 of us shots. I was like, "Oh shit!" So what did I go and do? Another round on me, man. M Star said, "I do edibles." Oh, I heard those are worse. I heard people go to the ER fucking with those. Yeah, you got to pay attention, Kamai. Yeah, see, Benji said that's crazier. Yeah, I had came up on an issue of that bubblegum gelato, and somebody sparked some up around me, right? And I was so fucking stoned immediately. I had to get out of there. And the whole drive home, I could hear my heartbeat. And I was started paying attention to it, and it starts beating faster. I was like, oh hell no. Nah. What the fuck? Mama, come here. They want to see you, pretty girl. Let's see. Come here. She's so stupid. She's not gonna let me pick her up. Hey, the husband and wife are in here. What's up, Mad Max? Mob Nasty. See, Mob said he can't do the edibles. He said M Star brought me here. Oh, look at her. Look at her. She's a wild animal. They wanted to see you, mama. Why are you breathing like that? Why are you breathing like that? Go over there. Go right there. Macro Beast says, dude, I started going into marijuana psychosis with edibles. I was stoned all day for like 8 months. Dude, I went crying to my neighbor's house. Now I just drink 4. Yeah, I can't. I'm cool. I'm cool with weed, period. And THC in any form. Mad Max says, Dubs, we fuck with you just because you're a dog lover. Kamai says, I feel like felons being able to own guns again can be a reality because Malcolm X had a fully automatic M1. It is. It's a white boxer. No, excuse me. It's a boxer. It's an English bulldog. Janet. Damn it. Janet's in the house. Janet's going to go pick up some cut waters in a minute and be dancing on tables. Getting it. Their short ass hair now. Boo. Rodrigo says, smoking weed makes me hungry and sleepy. I only smoke before bed. When I used to smoke weed, that was one of the reasons why I got my old nickname, Joker. I used to smoke a lot of weed, right? I used to smoke a lot of weed and just laugh. They used to, my homeboys used to say, man, you could put this fool in a fucking bathroom, nothing's in there, nobody's in there, and he's just gonna sit in there and laugh all fucking day. No, she does snore already. Yeah, I used to bag on people and just laugh. And then, don't even try to get mad when I'm bagging on you because I'm gonna enjoy it even more. He said that's hilarious. Serio, I would sit there and just laugh and laugh and laugh, bag on people, and then I'm telling you, let somebody get mad that I'm bagging on them. I think it's the funniest shit in the world, and I'm bagging more. She says, yes, that makes a whole lot of sense, Steph. So 2 of the main reasons why I got my nickname when I was a kid was, 1, I was always laughing, and these guys all claim my laugh is fake. I've had that laugh, and they say it's an evil laugh, like the Joker. It's so funny how when people say we're saying that I hid my nickname. Like if the guys that everybody that knows me in real life doesn't know what my nickname was. Dubs is for in homage to my neighborhood. It's for WS. That's what the Dubs is for. I've explained this 1,000 times. Look at Janet. That's why me and Dubs get along so well, because we laugh at anything. What's up, Shane? How you doing? You know, I had one of those vape pens. It was like THC and CBD. I think, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was mellow. But I would only smoke that shit. What's up, Miami Fins fan? I would only smoke that shit when I was playing Call of Duty. I remember one time I was playing Call of Duty and there was nobody on yet, and my tia called, and I had just fucking finished vaping, right? My tia called, and I swear she talked for like 10 minutes. I didn't say nothing. I couldn't even figure out what she was telling me. I was like, I was looking at the pen, like, is this a different bag? Finally, I told her, hey, look, tia, you know, I love you, but I don't even understand what you're saying. I have to talk to you later. And I hung up. Yep. M-Star said, Stone Cod makes sense too. It's fun. Yeah. You really had to hide your identity from all the level 1 and 2s, like Donut Boy. Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like I've said, put it like this. I'll say, like, at minimum, fucking Nat in here because this damn dog. At minimum, the last year that I was in prison, I didn't even go by my nickname anymore. I went by my first name. And I remember one of my sponsors in CJ, Criminals and Gang Members Anonymous, one of my sponsors, he told me, hey, Holmes, why are you still going by your nickname, Holmes? And I was like, and this is what I told him. I said, because the only people that call me by my first name are the people that love me, the people that know me and care about me. I said, these people in here, they're not on that level. And he goes, you don't get it, Holmes. He said, that's still a tie to gangbanging. Sooner or later, I realized, like, you know what? I got to stop using my nickname. You know, I need to introduce myself to people, or even correct people when they call me by that, and have them call me by my first name. So it started even in there, where I just going by my first name. And I tell people, I went into the CDC as Joker, and I left Joker in prison where Joker belongs in prison. Johnny's the one that got out, you know, the one you know as Dubs, you know. But yeah, they make up so many things. It's like, the people that did time with me, everybody that knows what's up with me, just because I changed my name to Dubs didn't mean I became invisible. and Dubs is just a social media name. When I'm high, nothing else disrupts my mind but what I'm doing, so I get down on work or making and fixing things. That's right. That's right, Mad Max. Shit. I'm trying to just keep it at 30 minutes, and I wind up going over 30 every time, right? Oh, the board definitely saw that. When I went to board the first time and got a denial, right? I remember, because I was still married at the time, and I remember going back and calling my wife, and she was like, what happened? And I told her, they shot me down for 5 years. And I remember she started crying, right? And I was like, what you crying for? I said, I know for a fact I'm getting out next time. I knew it. Like, the reasons why they shot me down, I knew those are easy to fix, right? I went back. I got deep into the self-help. I started writing a lot of book reports. Like, I would get a gang of self-help books, read them, do a book report, make sure the counselor put that in my C file. I would do other things, like other like writings on things that I learned from CGA, Criminals and Gang Members Anonymous. And that's what a lot, like anybody that has family that's doing life, in order to really, really help your chances at parole, you have to do book reports. You have to write about AA. You have to write about any like AVP, whatever self-help you're doing, write about it and make sure your counselor puts that in your C file, because your C file is full of the bad stuff. No cop is going to put the good stuff in there for you. You have to make sure you go to your counselor, put that in there, so that when the board goes through your C file, because they have their mind pretty much made up before you even get in the room. So you got to make sure that the C file has a lot of the positive stuff in there. So when they're reading all the negative, they start seeing the counter to that, right? Like, oh, wait, what's all this stuff right here? When you get into board, they're going to be asking you stuff based off of that to make sure it's actually you, that you wrote it, and it helps a lot. When they shot you down for those 5 years, did you wait that long? Yeah, I didn't ask to go any sooner. I said, nah. They shot me down for 5. I'm going to give them 5. I gave them 5 and they let me go. That's right, Juan. Shane said, it's because if guys can't even do those things, how are they going to handle change back to society? That's right. All right. Thank you, M Star. City Boy says, what's up, Dubs? I know you said you lost your mother while incarcerated and you handled it the way you handled it inside the joint, but now that you are a changed man, how do you handle the emotions now? You know, for the longest time, man, when I lost my mom, I couldn't even think about it. I couldn't talk about it without it getting emotional, right? And I remember when I went to board, so when you're a lifer, you have to see a psychologist. That's the first person you have to see before you go to board. You see that person and they rate you, your threat level to society, right? You can get a low, moderate, or a high, right? And I was asked about my mom, and I answered, and I don't remember what I said, but the psychologist like looked at me and like straight up was like, you know, it's not your fault, right? Like whatever I said, she saw something in my response that I felt guilty, right? And she told me, you know, that's not your fault, right? And from that day on, like I had to think about that, you know, because I did blame myself. But as far as emotions, here's where I'm at with emotions. When people say men should never cry and men should never show emotions, I don't believe that. I think a real man, if he's hurting, can cry. I think a real man can show his emotions. I think it's weak to be afraid to cry. It's weak to be afraid to show your emotions. A man should never cry for attention, though. That's never ever. But I'm fine with my emotions. You know, what was it? A few months back, we're bumping. I was buzzed, and a song came on that reminded me of my daughter, and I shed some tears. And the haters were like, "Oh, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm a man." I lost my grandmother yesterday. Oh, damn! My condolences. I lost my grandmother yesterday. Pretty much was my grandmother. Haven't dealt with this type of loss, so it's good to get your take on the emotions on grief and loss that you change now. Here's my thing. So I lost my mom. My mom, I'm way older right now than my mom was when she passed. My mom was young, right? I also lost my grandmother. Those were the two most important women in my life, right? When I lost my grandmother, it hurt me, but I knew that my grandmother, she lived a long life. And she suffered with health problems and stuff like that. So for me, the pain of losing my mom was so much different than losing my grandmother, because I knew she lived a long life. And I knew she no longer had to suffer, you know, because she had strokes and heart attacks, and, you know, it left her bedridden. And so I knew she was no longer hurting, right? Now, I don't know what your situation is, but this is why it's important. Why I always tell people, look, at the most precious thing we have as human beings is our time. We don't live long, right? So our time is our most important thing. So when we're here on Earth, I think me personally, one of the main um, purposes of life is creating positive memories with your loved ones. And that's why I always say everybody, you don't have to be a content creator, but everybody should post at least one thing on social media. So that way, when you're gone, your loved ones, your future generations can hear your voice, hear your laugh, see your smile. You know what I mean? I think that's important. Mom Nasty, please tell the ones you love that you love them. That's right. That's why I say that all that negative energy. Look, these dudes that talk about me, they can talk about me to their blue in the face. It doesn't change any part of my daily life. It changes nothing for me. What it does is it takes a lot of negative energy from the world and it attracts itself to them, right? I fucking believe in energy like a motherfucker. That's why before when I used to react to these dudes, I thought it was funny roasting them. But then I realized that became a drug to them. Like they're seriously addicted to my responses. They're addicted to my lives, my content. It's weird. It's very unhealthy, but that's their baggage. Hey Santos, what's up, big dog? Shout out to Santa Maria. Louis says it's easy to type some shit. That's such a cowardly move. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, as long as somebody's watching them, they have a lane. Miguel, what's up, Miguel? How you doing? Joey, hi. How have you been and what you've been up to? Also, have you been watching the World Cup? Also, I want Norway to win it all since the USA lost. That's right. I watched a couple games. I watched two games. I really don't watch TV. Um, like I said, I have three TVs in this house, and I don't know why I bought so many of them. Hey, and check this out. I have like a 75-inch in the living room, right? I think I turned it on 2 times. And the second time I turned it on, the tube blew out. How could the tube blow out when I don't watch it? Count says an embarrassing lane. The cold thing is, you would think it was embarrassing. They're not embarrassed whatsoever. Warriors Only Media, they're addicted to you just as you were addicted to Wes and Big Boy. What goes around comes around. Don't go complaining now. That energy came back to you. Well, this is how stupid you are. You never hear me call Wes a rat. You never hear me call him a punk. You never hear me call Big Boy, any of those dudes. So that energy you're talking about, Big Mouth, make sure you take that energy to John Bravo, Bubba, Saintsaholic, and all the other channels. See, you punk motherfuckers like you only have a problem when it's me. But everybody else that does it, you don't have a problem with it. So it's not even close to the same thing. These dudes are legitimately making up stories, making up lies. And they're putting out 60, 70 videos in a few months about me. One channel every day puts out something about me. I can't stand doing videos about Wes Watson. I do it because my subscribers like it. I've said for a long time, when he was in San Diego and I would roast him, it was funny and it was fun. When he moved to Florida, he became evil. And I have not had fun roasting that dude in a very long time. But I still try to do it at least once a week because that's what the people like. And that's the key to success in social media. You give the people what they want. You don't like what I do, you don't have to be here. But the energy them dudes have for me ain't what I have for Wes. You don't hear me lying about these dudes. I react to what they say. But it is what it is. Hey, Richard says, what up, G from Chiques? Mad support. What's up? Shout out to Chiques. How you guys doing out there? Damn, they've been on that for over. Yeah, they try to say what they do is the same as what I do to Wes. It's not even close. It's not even close. And check this out. It's funny that they back Wes up when Wes is a known woman abuser. His first wife has said on camera that he should beat the fuck out of her. He's in jail right now. One reason is for beating his fiance. And these dudes act like he's a cool ass cat. Weird. Jay Griego. Is it Griego? Dubs, as a longtime subscriber, I believe that most are like me and couldn't give a shit what they. No, that's a fact. That's what they don't get. Look, these dudes bring up prison shit, right? And all the dudes talking about me never were a part of that lifestyle in there. They weren't, right? But they bring up stuff that means absolutely nothing out here, and they don't get that. Shout out to Santa Rosa. One of my real good camaradas in prison. He was from Santa Rosa. Hey, thank you, SBM 1993. Lupe, what's up, Lupe? How you doing? Hold on, let me grab the last one. Shit, I haven't seen you in here in a long time, Lupe. I know you pop up every now and then. Zap was just on the gray line. Who's with Zap? Hobo Raider asked Dubs, why do you think so many fake gang members in America claim Sureño? Well, you got to understand that guys from California have been in the federal system for a very long time. And guys from Southern California, when they get into the politics, they're always looking for an opportunity to make money in other places, in new places. And so that's what they do. They form relations with people in other states and they set up camp. But like I said before, what that word that you're saying is a word that it's a title that's earned. It's not a title like, but there's a lot of guys that don't know that, you know, so they're in other states. I just saw one the other day. He had long ass hair. He the way he was dressed was like, there's no way this dude was ever in California. He wouldn't be looking like that. Okay, yeah. That's what I want to know. He was on the gray line. What is that? It's a channel. You know, I saw a picture of him. I'm gonna write that down. I saw a picture of him. He looks so weird now. Yeah, that dude was bad. Okay, I'll check the IG. Oh, you sent it over there? Cool. Matter of fact, let me look right now. I want to see if he still looks like the picture somebody sent me of him. Retired CDCR gang investigator. He was not. He got kicked out of the. Let's see. Yeah, look at how funny he looks now. Yeah, that dude. So you guys know the boxer Jaws from San Fernando? He has Sanfed on his stomach. He's been in a couple movies. He according to Zap, Jaws threw him off the tier in Soledad. But Zap, you know, being the superhero cop that he was, as he was going over the tier, he handcuffed himself to the bar and he was dangling off of the tier by his handcuff. Hobo Raider says, Dubs, there's still a ton of dudes claiming Sureño that never met a Sureño in their lives. Same thing with Crips and Bloods, though. Big Smile, what's up, big dog? Red Dog, how you doing? Would I consider writing a book about my life? No. A lot of people have asked me that question, and I wouldn't write a book about my life because I don't want, I mean, you know, I know so I could write the book itself and then have an editor change all of the names. But I was involved in so many things. That's why it's you know, like when they call me the role model inmate and all that, it's so funny to me. You know, none of them dudes ever got validated. None of them were in politics, right? But I was involved in so many different things, man. I can't tell those stories because it involved other people, you know, and I just I don't want to do anything that involves other people. Yes, for a fact, Lupe, look. Calling each other camaradas and don't know the true meaning. That's another word that has deep meaning, you know. What's up, Ivan? How you doing? That's right, Hobo Raider. Thank you, Ben. How's Gunner doing, and what do you think about Mexicans using the N-word? Gunner's he just went to the, like, you know, unless he says something, I don't say something, right? But he mentioned it on the live yesterday. He went to the doctors yesterday, and they put him on a bunch of medication. He needs to get his health in order, man. That's right, Mob. And as far as Mexicans using the N-word, I'm old. I'm old school. I don't like it. I think it sounds ridiculous when I hear anybody that's not black using that word. I think it just, to me, you're trying to fit in, and you're trying to fit in with people that don't want you to be a part of what they do, and they don't want to even hear that word out of your mouth. It's weird. John, the hitman Weasel keeps exposing his true nature. Oh yeah. You know that dude, Holmes, for the longest time, he was saying that he talked to people that knew of me in prison, and he said, like, hey, you would have went to the yard, that's somebody you would have been listening to, right? And then just out of nowhere, he recently said somebody told him, if you were in the pen, you wouldn't talk the way you talk, and he said, yeah, because I respect the program. That says a lot about an individual. You can't be you. If that's really you, why can't you be you wherever you're at? I used to when I used to lace dudes up in the joint, I used to always tell them, carry yourself as if one of the legends is watching you at all times, and you'll be all right. If you can't be you, everybody's going to notice that, and nobody's going to trust you. Nobody's going to like you. That's what it is, Juan. But not, well, Southerners are. The word you're using is something completely different. It's just weird, Lupe. It's just weird, you know. Like I heard him the other day. He had the nerve to put me on a thumbnail with Renee and asking who's wanted more. Like, what the fuck? The audacity of somebody to do that. You know, I could never respect that dude for doing something like that, and things he says, I could never respect him. But it cracked me up how he said that he went to the back several times. He said he got into it with a Southerner, right? And he was in Old Folsom. Old Folsom? What were you, level 2? Level 3? You went to the back. You never went to the shoe. You went to Ad Sag. It's weird, Holmes. It's very weird. And why are you at that age, Holmes, bragging about that stuff? And it's like with the Wes Watson thing. People that don't know, people that haven't been in the joint, they hear these certain, like, if you mention Old Folsom, if they hear San Quentin or Old Folsom, 90% of people don't understand. Those are low-level prisons, lower security. It's not the 70s where those two places, that's a problem, right? But people hear those names and don't know any better. Like, oh, fuck, he was in Folsom. No, he was in a lower level security. What happens if the homies use the N-word in prison? So I only saw it twice. I only saw 2 dudes in New Folsom use that word, and naturally, those 2 dudes hung out together. They were road dogs on the yard, right? And within the year, both of them got whacked. Nobody ever said it was because of those words. I know it was because of the words, because the person that had him hit, rest in peace, good dude, he made it happen. The same dude made sure he got both of them off the yard. And I was I was sitting next to him one day when one of them walked by and he was using the N-word. And this OG was so mad. He didn't realize he said it out loud. He said, that motherfucker's through. Both of them got whacked on the yard within a year. That's crazy, Lupe. Dubs, I've seen a couple of your sparring videos. Do you have some training? I have a little bit of training in boxing as well as karate. The martial art I took was called Tang Soo Do. It was a Korean, the samurai art. There was actually somebody in the comments a couple of lives back. He said when I used to box, he said he was there with me at least once. I didn't recognize the dude's name though. There are no Asian gangs in Santa Barbara. No, there's not a lot of. It's mainly Santa Barbara is mainly, the city itself is mainly white and Mexican. You seem to have a really good jab. Jabs set up the power. Yeah, it's weird, Juan. It is. You know, I hear it all the time on Call of Duty. And you hear it mainly from guys that you know are not black. And I'm like, why you do that? Are there white power gangs in Santa Barbara? There's the SB Skins, Santa Barbara Skinheads. There used to be another group that died out, I would say by like 91. It was the Santa Barbara Boot Boys. There was also one in my neighborhood, the West Side Woods. They were cool, but that was only a handful of dudes. That died out a long time ago. Oh no, Lupe. No, I said it the other day. Cali Life 805. What up, big dog? Oh yeah. You know what? The Northsiders, yeah. That started when I got out in 93. I forgot all about them. But no, I said it the other day. These dudes that get on social media and proclaim that they're active channels, I think they're forgetting. Like this live right now, there's a lot of dudes in the joint watching this live right now. My content that I put out, there's a lot of dudes in the joint. Believe me, I hear it, that are watching my stuff. They're also watching theirs. And these dudes have said and done things for clicks and views that they're going to have to answer to. If they go back to prison, they're going to have to answer to it. But hey, you know, they got all the answers out here when it comes to prison, so they'll be fine. Dubs, do you think you'd make it in a Midwest prison, or will the difference in politics be too much for you because we don't have race politics? I don't ever want to go back to prison, first of all. That said, I can be dropped into any prison anywhere in the world and survive. I look at in prison, even over here, the main thing is mind your own fucking business. Even within your own crew, mind your own fucking business. That applies anywhere you do time. Secondly, I would say know how to make a fucking weapon, make it good, and make it fast. So you can go to any prison. If you can mind your own business and you can arm yourself and you know how to use what you're working with, you'll be fine. No, I don't take it like that, whole Raider, because if I'm gonna be completely honest, Becky, what's up, girl? If I'm gonna be completely honest, you don't have to be tough to survive prison. That's an added benefit. You have to be smart. You have to be able to read somebody like that. You have to be able to see what they think they're gonna do as they're plotting it. If you can't figure those things out, it don't matter how fucking tough you are. Exactly, Ivan. Kelly Life 805 says, keep your mouth shut and your eyes open. Look it. You have one mouth, two eyes, and two ears for a reason. You need to be watching and listening twice as much as you're talking. I don't know Canicas personally. I know of him. He's I think he's like an MMA dude too. I think he's from my neighborhood, but he's like an MMA dude. But he's a few years younger than me. So I don't remember him back when I was being an idiot in the neighborhood. You got to remember, when I got busted was in 1993. I was 19. He's a few years younger. I don't remember him hearing about him running around with a loquito. So I don't know where he's actually from. But I have heard the name and I've heard good things about the guy. No, I didn't know Canicas. Like I said, I've heard of him. I've heard good things about him, but I don't know him. Wait, you don't do lives anymore with Gunner? Yeah, we've been doing a lot of lives on TikTok. Gunner's health is not good right now, so he's been resting and trying to get his stuff together. Was I locked up with any of Orlando Anderson's homies? Orlando Anderson. Who's that? The guy that shot Tupac? If I was, I wouldn't know. Hobo Raider. They're on the another side of the yard, and they would have not brought that up to me. You know and that's the thing. Like, there were blacks that I was cool with. Like, there was blacks that I was cool with, but they're gonna be like your coworkers and shit. Like, if you work in the kitchen or you're a porter or whatever it is, you're gonna be interacting with these dudes every day. You're not gonna eat with them or nothing like that, but that's your coworker. Dubs, when you were in YA, did you ever meet any homies from San Marcos, San Diego County? I don't believe I did, eh? He tried to claim insanity recently. Yeah, that shit is funny. He's the one that took out Tupac. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't. Maybe I was around some of his homies. I don't know. I was around one of his homies when I paroled. We were in a transitional home together. What is it? Southside Crip. That's where he's from. But I in prison, I don't know. Kelly Life 805 says, I remember that cat, Canicas. He was cool. Cool. Well loved by many on the West Side. No, that's what I've heard. And like I said, I think he does that jujitsu stuff. Yeah, Ivan, I lived in San Diego. That's where I paroled to. I love San Diego. I lived over there for 3 years when I first got out. No, I was never locked up with Michael Thompson. Of course, he's softer spoken. He actually was that guy for a long time. And I've always said that when you get around real killers, they're gonna be the most respectful dudes you've ever met because they know what they're willing and capable of doing. So they're always very respectful with you. Every one of the like really bad motherfuckers I met, humble, respectful, quiet. Yeah, Joy. Hey, I like that, bada bing. The single biggest predictor of happiness isn't income, relationships, or health. It's the ability to be present in an ordinary moment without wishing it was something else. That's right. Exactly, Cali Life 805. They got nothing to prove. Especially in prison, but in that world, period, a man's reputation will always precede him. Paul, I'm glad you haven't blocked me, Dubs. Look, that other big mouth that was in here earlier talking about Wes Watson, I didn't block him. I always tell people, I usually give you 3 strikes. If you come in here, if you have a difference of opinion, I don't care about that. I'm not right on everything. I just have my opinion, right? But if you come in here disrespecting or you're disrespecting the chat, I'll probably get you. If you're in the comments, you get 3 strikes. Hey Dubs, I was in Ironwood with Mariachi from SB from the Destroyers. That's in my neighborhood, the West Side. I went out on carga and that fool left me. Wow. That's fucked up. Just messing around. That's my catchphrase. Dubs, do you have a story about a homeless man that you could tell genuinely appreciated your help? Not offhand. I told this story before, but I'll tell this. This is a story. This is the type of homeless people we have in California, big dog. Check this out. I was going into a grocery store. There was a homeless dude digging in the trash can right at the door when you're going to go in, right? He's digging in the trash can. Immediately, I knew I'm going to buy this dude something to eat. So I went into the store. What's up, Kara? That's the homegirl from the east side. I went into the store. Bam, I went straight to, like at Vons, you know how they have the deli and they have the Subway sandwiches and sushi and everything. I grabbed them a big Subway sandwich. Like I paid for it real quick and I told the lady, I'll be right back. I just want to give this to the homeless dude. And she's like, oh, that's so nice, this and that. I go outside. He's still digging in the trash can. I said, hey, man, don't do that. And I was like, well, here, man, I bought you a sandwich. Yes, Kamayu knows. I said, I bought you a sandwich. He looks at it, he goes, I'm a vegetarian. That has meat in it. I said, what? Oh, you remember it? Yeah. And I said, take the meat out, fool, eat the bread. And he said, no, I'm good. You see, a lot of you guys remember the story. This motherfucker. So as far as appreciative, no, as far as the homeless, but I have on 2 different occasions gone to the grocery store and this is nothing, but anybody who has, if you can, do this at least once, guys. I did this twice. I was in the store. I'm paying for my stuff. And I looked. The last time was an elderly woman. She was probably like 70, 80 years old. I don't remember. And I looked at her stuff. And I told the cashier when she was ringing my stuff up, I said, hey, don't close it out. I said, I'm going to pay for her stuff too. I said, don't tell her yet. Just everything she's putting on there. I got it. Just add it to my card. She's like, all right. And when the lady went to pay, she's like, he paid for everything. And then I did a video about it. And I didn't do the video because I wanted people to thank me. I did the video because of her reaction. This is a woman that was in her 70s or 80s. I don't know. Maybe 60. I don't know what. She was an elderly woman. And she fucking started crying. And I thought to myself, a woman this age, why is this the first time this has ever happened to her? Right? And I think that if we have the means to do it, I think that men should do that more for women, whether they're elderly or not. I think we should do that to them so that they know we appreciate them. You know what I mean? It feels good to do it, but it makes a memory. I'm sure that lady will never forget me, but I won't forget the way she reacted, and it hit me like, damn, nobody's ever done that, and she's that old. It might sound wild, but sometimes I think homeless are really Jesus trying to test us. I believe that too. That's why I can't carry cash. I give it away to the homeless. Lupe said, should have went and got him a handful of grass. Ay, ay, ay. Hobo Raider says, we've lost our instinct to protect women in this country. And then Then we get mad when females act the way they do. It's sad. Yeah. Look at that. Lupe says, I bought tacos, but that's why he's my friend, though, right? I bought tacos for someone today. Any gesture like that, it fucking really feels good, man. GE says, I had something like that happen to me also. I saw a homeless guy. He asked for a sandwich. So I got him a sandwich. And when I came out to give it to him, he said, where's my soda? I can't have cash in my pocket also because, like you, I give it away. I do, Holmes. I do. Oh, that's a fact, Hobo Raider. We're not going to get into all that stuff, but and I'm not going to stay on much longer. It's already been over an hour. And what I'm trying to do, I don't know if you guys notice, I'm trying to do more of the lives where there's no music. I want to chop it up with you guys and keep these up. You know, maybe music ones we'll do like on a Friday or Saturday or whatever. But I want to start doing it to where I keep these up and you know, maybe somebody heard something in here they liked and they'll want to hear it later or they want to forward it to someone else. What's up, Sherry? When I'm lazy, that's what I like to do too, Lupe. But when I'm lazy, I just give them the cash. That's why I won't carry it anymore. What's up, Ricardo? Shout out to Riverside. I say it every time somebody says Riverside, but I used to live out there. Wow, I was in a group home out there. I used to live by the Tyler Mall. I used to go to Ramona High School with all the guys from CB. A Johnny Hallman story, Dubs. See, but that's the thing is you already know I don't like to mention names. That was a good dude, man. I like Johnny. I'll tell you this. I told a story about the homie Shanky, rest in peace, the one the cops killed in the riot in 96, right? So one day, at the time, I still, this was in 90, had to be in 95, 96, 95. Because I stopped smoking weed and everything in 96. Regardless of the time, look, I used to get bomb weed, Holmes. I used to get bomb weed sent to me. And so I had some herb, right? And I tell fucking Shanks, I say, hey, fool. Hey, I brought some weed. I go, let's go smoke a joint. Let's hit a lap. He said, all right, boom. He was playing handball and immediately left the court. Hey, somebody take my spot. Bam. So we get on the track, right? We see Johnny. I said, Johnny, come here, fool. And you know, at the time, he, you know, was, I mean, he's validated, so it doesn't matter. He had the spot, right? And he's like, hold up. He's talking to people, and then so he comes with us. Bam, we hit the track. I spark it up. I pass it. By the time we come back around on the lap, we had already burnt it, right? We're laughing. And Johnny, he's the man. And so everybody's going to him about whatever the fucking complaints are, whatever, right? And so me and Shanky thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And we're off to the side and we're watching him and we're laughing. We're laughing because we're so stoned. And we're like, there's no way he's paying attention to what this Vato's telling him. And we just couldn't stop laughing. So he comes over and he's like, hey, fool. He goes, what the fuck is in this weed? I said, what you mean? He goes, you ever see like the end of the fucking Kung Fu movies? When you know the Kung Fu theater or Bruce Lee, whatever. And he goes, you know how at the end where everybody's real like stretched out? He goes, everybody's stretched out right now, fool. He goes, everybody I look at is stretched out like a Kung Fu movie. He goes, these bottles are coming up to me talking. He goes, I can't even fucking pay attention to him because I'm looking at him like, how you so tall? That shit was funny. Johnny was cool. There we go. At a beer. Hey, oh, hello. Hey, my phone went into talk mode, my number, and I don't understand what it is going on. Maybe it's off, but I'm still listening or trying. Okay. Cali Life 805er. This fool definitely watches my fucking content. That right there, what he wrote is what Shanky said. This Vato watches. I did in Hobo Raider. My new dog is 4 months. Yeah. What he's talking about, what Cali Life 805 was talking about, is another time we smoked some weed, me and Shanky, and we went to this one wall, and it says big as fuck on the wall, out of bounds, and we decided that's where we want to hang out, right? And we leaned up against the wall, and this wall was getting beat down by the sun, right? We leaned back against the wall, and I remember I put my head against, like, as soon as I laid my back against the wall, it just felt comfortable. It was so warm, and I put my head back, and I was like, fuck, I was stoned, I was relaxed. The heat from the wall felt amazing. And I said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said, hey Holmes, this fucking shit feels bomb, huh? I don't remember, something like that. And Shanky doesn't even open his eyes, and he just goes, mm-hmm. Hey, the way he did it, like it, because I was stoned, it took a second to register, right? And I was like, I looked at him, what the fuck? And we started laughing our asses off. And bam, we jumped on the track to take a lap. And everybody on the handball court next to where we were, they were busting up at us. They were like, these motherfuckers are stoned. Yeah, so, you know, that we do have good memories from prison, man. You know, like I said, and I'm sure he remembers, Shanky had did a pegada. Shanky had whacked somebody. He had whacked somebody that was a really, really, really good dude, man. But he had pinched some dope. Some dope that it was his responsibility to go pick up the dope and get it to where it needed to go to another dude. And along the way, he dipped into it and he took a pinch out. And so he had to get hit. And this dude was one of the biggest dudes on the yard, not tall wise, but like he looked like he looked like he was on steroids. He wasn't, he was just yoked, right? And Shanky whacked him at yard recall, tried to get him under his left armpit. He tried to hit him in the heart, right? He tried to get him, and he didn't do it. He didn't get him good. And the dude went back in the cell, patched himself up, and they went to chow that night. They were on the same tier. And the dude fucked Shanky up in the chow hall. And before the cops could break it up, he grabbed fucking Shanky and he whispered in his ear. And he told him, I showed you love. He said, next time you whack somebody, he said, you got to take them to the dirt. You don't never let them reach the cell, which is a fact. Shanky went to the shoe, and then he wound up beating it. He went to the shoe for like 1 or 2 days, got sent back to New Folsom, and he said, I remember I walked with him to go pick up his property. We picked up his property, we came back, and we're sitting on the table, and he said, hey, Holmes, he goes, whatever happened to Jimmy is whatever. And he goes, but you know what? And I shouldn't have said the name. Now I said the guy's name, Jimmy. He said, he showed me love. Eh? He said, that vato could have killed me. Eh? And he said, that's when we found out what Jimmy had whispered in his ear. And he said, yeah, in the chow hall, he said, the next pegada that I do, he said, everybody's going to hear about it. The next pegada he did, the cops killed him. And everybody heard about it. So that's why we've got to be careful, the things that we speak, man, the things we put out in the ether, because it can come true. Jay says, there's a lot of people from my dad's town in Santa Barbara. They migrated here in the late 70s, early 80s. Where are you at? Bada Bing says, I always liked the story. Crazy thing is, his name was Jimmy too. I always liked the story where the guy let you borrow his TV, a wood, vato, he owed your friend money and he couldn't believe you were involved. Yeah. Yeah. We were going to hit Jimmy. Jimmy was a really good dude, man. And that's how prison is. It's not personal, man. It's business. And I had a gang of love for Jimmy, the wood, Jimmy. I couldn't stand the dude. So the dude that sold him the dope was selling for a dude that I couldn't stand. But regardless of the dude I couldn't stand, the other dude was my dog. I hung out with him every day. And you know, people actually left comments were like, you're a snake. That dude looked out for you when your homies didn't, this and this and that. That's not how it works in prison. this dude old. This is my friend, right? And I'll say the guy's name. The guy's name was Chunky. I did videos later. He fucking went all the way out ass backwards. But on that move that he was supposed to do on Jimmy, when he didn't do it, I cut ties with him. I no longer kicked it with him. I didn't talk to him. Just fucking, I'm telling this dog. I have to leave the door open for the dog, and these damn flies and gnats come in. Hobo Raider, get into our Discord, because I'm not gonna put the email out here. I had an email out, and you know what the trolls did? They sent me a gang of fucking gay porn and shit. At first, I thought it was funny, like, oh, these motherfuckers, but it was nonstop. So I had to cancel that one. But yeah, and you know, Jimmy was hurt. He was hurt by it, but Jimmy was a hitter, man. Jimmy was, that wood was he understood. Like, we weren't on bad terms after that. He was just like, damn, man. Like, I looked out for you, and I was like, yeah, but you know what time it is, man. Like, he would have done the same thing with one of his close homies if it would have been me. Oh, the black dude. Yeah, the zebra killer. Look it up. The zebra killers in Oakland. Yeah, that black guy. He without me even, fuck, that dude was big, Holmes, and he's talking to my homeboy Chino from Santa Maria. And he's like, yeah, my homeboy needs to get into medical, this and that. And that fool put his hand on my head before I even saw it coming. And that fool started chanting in whatever he believed in. Excuse me. Hey, Holmes. I felt like cold go from his hand all the way down to my toes, fool. I was like, what the fuck? And he told me, you're going to be all right. I got you. He told me exactly what I felt. He goes, was it cold or was it, I can't remember at this point. But he goes, you felt this, right? And I was like, I did. And he goes, yeah, you're going to be fine, this and that. And when he left, Chino, the homie from Santa Maria, was an older cat. He was already Christian. And he was like, what the fuck was he saying? And I said, I don't know. He goes, did you really feel it? I said, I felt that shit. He said, fool, that fool fucking did some voodoo or something. I said, I hope not. That dude used to do a prayer during yard. He would go to this part of the yard, and it's you know, so New Folsom is obviously, it's a 180, so it's surrounded by concrete. Tall ass concrete walls, and there's also fucking huge slabs of rock, right? And so he used to go on this one, it was like a corner, right? And he would face the wall, and he would do this chant, and it would fucking echo around the whole yard. It was creepy. Sister Craft says, my father used to be locked up in Camp Sauble. Where's that at? Kamai said, that's Ray. Ray's hilarious. Ray doesn't get in here that much anymore, but he's hilarious. I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close in a couple more minutes, guys. It's already been almost an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys. We still have 90 people in here. In Michigan, okay. That's a trip, man. Cali Life 805er, he's been watching a lot of my stuff. And you know what? Whenever I see Sistercraft in here, I wind up looking at my eyes like, they are kind of glassy, huh? The hell does that mean? Thank you, Louis. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think no, that's what I want to do, Louis. I want to do more lives, maybe on the weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, we play some music. But I want my lives to be more interactive. You know, whatever I can, whatever I feel comfortable discussing or answering, I will. You know, and I think that's better for the channel. I think it's better for our interactions. Thank you, Miguel. Camp Crystal Lake. That's fucking Friday the 13th, no? Cali Life 805er. Now I just remember that's Mikey from Carpas. The Toker show from Brownside RIP has many stories from the streets and times with Easy and Little E. Yeah. So back when I first started, he shouted me out a few times. Toker shouted me out a few times. That's right, Sam. Say I'm getting that money tonight. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close. I'm probably gonna get on the game. I don't know. We'll see. Rise got on early yesterday, so let's see. But by the way, I don't have any of my mods in here. I want to Dub's a Christian too. That's why I'm damn sure a Christian. I always tell people I'm a Christian. I'm just not going to be anybody else's version of a Christian. I still, will smack the shit out of somebody if I have to, and I'll ask for forgiveness after. But I have my own beliefs, and before I go, I'll say it. I've said it before. I truly believe in my belief system. Whatever we do, if we do it with, it's the intent that we do it with, which makes it a sin or not. That's just what I believe. I try to be good to everybody. I'm human. I'm gonna fail. Believe me, if I do something stupid, the trolls will post it. So you'll see the bad times. But there's so many more good times, and that's what we got to do, right? That's what we got to focus on. Hey, we might slip up, stumble here and there, man, but as long as we treat people right, we're respectful, and we have good intentions, we're gonna be all right. Paul, and then Paul writes my real name up there. What the fuck? Anyways, okay, make sure I got everything. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close. Like I said, I'll be on. I remember what I was starting to say and got thrown off. Rise, game_rise. Can we get over there and give him a sub? We finally got him over 1,000 subs today. We want to get him to 10,000. Fuck it. He's a good dude, a family man, great gamer. He pisses me off every night, and I still game with him every night. Who wins between McGregor and Holloway? Good night, you guys.